Fashion Industry Broadcast and Style Planet TV are proud to bring you their new Netflix original series, The Girl's Guides to the World of Designer Fashion. This new 6-part series explores the seductive world of designer fashion. Series 1, The History of Lingerie. Series 2, The Legend of the Designer Bag. Series 3, The Mystery of the High Heel. Series 4, American Fashion. Series 5, Italian Fashion. And Series 6, Paris Fashion.
In the 1970s, fashion heralded the arrival of ready-to-wear and the demand for practical masculine-style clothing that women could wear to work, and Milan rose to power as Italy's fashion epicenter. From this background rose the Italian fashion dynasties such as Armani, Gucci, Prada, Fendi, and many more. In the 1950s and 1960s, Moda Italiana emerged as a trailblazing force in fashion. And over the past 50 years, designer brands like Gucci, Valentino, Versace, Armani, and Prada have broken through the French monopoly on high fashion, staking the Italian school claim on haute couture. The French fashion elite can no longer look down their noses at Italian style. Today, Italian fashion is at the forefront of luxury. And the picturesque city of Milan is at the epicenter. During Milan Fashion Week, some of the most famous labels on the planet showcase their designs, and fashion aficionados and devotees flock to that northern city. But what led to Italy becoming a world leader in fashion?
I think that the Italian fashion has a special quality that it seems normal, it's for granted when you say, you're talking about clothes, you're talking about fashion, says, okay, quality is the first as a priority, but it's not. It's not always the same because, I mean, we are always talking about shape, colors, fabrics, but the quality, it's something that really makes the difference when you have a good quality. So first, I think it's quality, creativity, because it doesn't mean eccentricity or extravagancy. It means creativity. Creativity means to give to a brand a style.
The legacy of Italian design stretches as far back as the Middle Ages, where the Italian textile industry was already making a name for itself internationally. City-states such as Milan, Venice, Florence, Naples and Rome produced velvet, silk and wool that were prized for their quality. In the Renaissance, the textile industry was shaped by the art of the old masters, Da Vinci, Michelangelo, Raphael. To wear Italian clothing was to be extravagant and opulent. Expensive fabrics and intricate tailoring were an obvious show of wealth and status. To this day, luxury and quality are one and the same in Italy. Skilled artisans and humble shopkeepers have honed their crafts and technical processes over generations, lending a long heritage of historic expertise to the modern exploration of aesthetics and style.
Italian companies are based on the foundations of a very strong manufacturing culture, an ancient history of arts and craftsmanship rooted in Renaissance workshops, in the thousands of museums and churches scattered throughout the territory. The Made in Italy trademark, despite being a relatively recent phenomenon, has also developed thanks to a series of fortunate coincidences, a reality to be framed in the extensive perspective of Italian tradition and culture. The Made in Italy trademark is the recognized expression of a tradition of arts and trades, of craftsmanship and industrial know-how.
Italian fashion skillfully combines its cultural roots in the artisanal trades of tailoring, leatherwork and cobbling with innovative artistic takes on clothing. Many of the modern Italian fashion houses have their roots in a family tradition of craftsmanship.
My mother, she was a seamstress, she had a big atelier later. She always treats her employees as families. So Gianni was the same, and the same.
The Italian look draws on this existing prestige, afforded to it from the superior quality of leather goods and tailoring. Italian luxury fashion houses reveal exquisitely well-made garments and accessories, emblematic of a distinct pride in one's appearance and adornments.
The interconnected diamond print, the red and green strap, the double G insignia. These are the features that built the House of Gucci.
Like many Italian designers, the House of Gucci rose from humble beginnings. Guccio Gucci, son of a leather goods merchant from the north of Italy, Gucci initially avoided following in his father's footsteps. The first Gucci shop was founded in Florence in 1921. The brand quickly became known for its superior craftsmanship and attention to detail. Gucci's main business came from the making of saddles and accessories for horse riding. Such was the unparalleled quality of its leatherwork. The label's signature horsebit detail on its loafers and the red and green stripe inspired by saddles are remnants from Gucci's past. Elizabeth Taylor and Peter Sellers were both notable fans of unisex Gucci coats. Today, Gucci is known for its controversial history in advertising. Tom Ford has been celebrated for bringing the brand back into the modern world.
Sexy in 2013 is different than sexy in 1997. Things do change, and our standard of beauty has changed.
The brand is now synonymous with overt sex appeal and has succeeded in cracking the difficult millennial and Gen Z markets. Like in the era of the Renaissance, Italian fashion in the 20s and 30s was heavily influenced by art. But now it was surrealist painters like Salvador Dali who shook up what clothing could mean and express. Designer Elsa Schiaparelli was also a significant player in the creation of Italy's style identity, taking Italian fashion into the modern age. One of the most prominent figures in fashion during the 1920s and 30s Schiaparelli is as well known for her designs as her rivalry with French fashion icon Coco Chanel. Her lobster dress is a perfect example of a garment functioning as an artistic canvas. Wearable art was finding its feet. Fendi is another Italian label, clearly shaped by its time.
Fendi's metamorphosis is, changing all the time, searching for new ways.
They always try to push the limits, and that keeps them on the edge all the time.
It's pure creativity.
Founded in 1925, Fendi's history is controversially charged in the eyes of modern fashion devotees. The brand was launched by Edoardo and Adele Fendi as a fur and leather shop, with a workshop adjoining it next door. But their daughters, Paola, Anna, Franca, Carla, and Alda, should be credited with the brand's global fame and success.
I love the famous Fendi sisters. I love this real strength with iconic female creative women, and I think that the history of the Fendi family really represents that.
The 5 daughters all worked in the family business from a young age, devoting their lives to the fashion label.
There's a kind of a family sense of fashion that is communicated from season to season, and I find that they manage to blend modernity with this culture.
The late great Karl Lagerfeld joined the brand in 1965 as creative director for fur and women's ready-to-wear. Along with the Fendi sisters, Lagerfeld revived a global interest in fur fashion, to the anger of animal rights activists. The backlash against fur and fashion has reached such a height that in 2018 the label began to phase out fur in its collections in favour of cruelty-free options, man-made materials cleverly treated to replicate fur. Time will tell if the brand will cast off its roots in the fur trade for good, but it's clear that Fendi's adaptability is a guide to the future of haute couture. After the horrors of World War II, Paris resurrected its industry. So too did Italy, rebuilding its industry from the ground up. But it wasn't until after the World Wars that Italy's fashion industry gained the economic support that it needed to forge its identity. American aid for Italy's textile business spurred the production of luxury materials prized to this very day. In contrast to French labels at the time like Christian Dior, which focused purely on couture, Italian designers understood the need for ready-to-wear, comfortable clothing that also had an air of sophistication. This idea really took off in the American market. Fashion house Sorel Fontanta, headed by 3 sisters Zoe, Nicole and Giovanna, was a powerhouse of old Hollywood glamour. In this era, Made in Italy label was a sign of a garment's quality and must-have status. France and Italy remained fierce rivals during this era. However, Italy managed to tear away from the French mode and truly come into its own. The emancipation from French fashion was crucial to Italy's modern cultural character. In the 1950s, Hollywood stars flocked to Rome and Paris. Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton could be seen strolling the cobblestone streets in their finest apparel. Audrey Hepburn was a frequent visitor to Italy in search of clothing and shoe shops. The jewelled Isle of Capri was a playground for the rich and famous, and Florence was famous for leather and gold. Shoemaker Salvatore Ferragamo served the lights of Sophia Loren, Rita Hayworth, Greta Garbo and Jean Tierney. Jet-setting Hollywood stars fueled the international appetite for luxury Italian clothing.
In a 15th century setting at the Villa Lante, 60 miles from Rome, Italy's top style experts display their latest wares with an assist, we hasten to add, from some of Italy's prettiest mannequins.
Often called the pioneer of Italian fashion, businessman Giovanni Battista Giorgini staged Italy's first ever internationally recognized fashion show in 1951 at his residence in Florence. The event showed the collections of 10 major houses including Carossa, Fabiani, Simonetta, the Fontana sisters, Schubert, Vanna, Noborasco, Maruccelli and Veneziani. Publisher and guest at the event John Fairchild wrote at the time, "France has Paris, but Italy has Florence. What I like about Florence fashion, and I suppose all Italian fashion, is that free spirit, that ease of Italian chic, as smooth, as irresistible as a Ferrari, and as delicious as steaming pasta. Italian fashion is irresistible, he said. Models walked the stage beneath the shining chandeliers draped in exquisite textiles. The carefully chosen audience was encouraged to wear specifically Italian outfits. Expertly crafted shoes stalked down the runway. Italy was finding its own footing. Distinct from the French eye for style, the Italian implications of Italian craftsmanship. This event seduced American buyers and launched the now multi-billion-dollar industry. The shows continued over the years, cementing Italy as an international beacon of style. Its popularity led to the first Milan Fashion Week in 1958, and Milan remains one of the big four fashion weeks every year, established in 1953. Missoni was born as an innovator in the scene, associated from the very beginning with modern takes on patterning, mosaics, patchwork and striking colours. Ottavio Missoni and Rosita Gelmini began the company together, each focusing on design and business management respectively. Rosita's family history of manufacturing gave the brand a distinct advantage, as they were able to reconfigure knitting machines to create more modern styles than had been seen before. And by the 1970s, the Missoni label was a recognisable status symbol.
My grandfather, he loved to teach us to look around, to look at beautiful, and all our homes had nice views. That's why when we had to decide to build our factory, my love of pattern comes from that factory that was my grandparents' factory.
The brand is a leader in material combination, with as many as 20 different fabrics included in one garment. There are stripes, scallops, dots, prints and waves that all embellish the Missoni collections with their unusual colour combinations and sumptuous fabrics. They stand out as a blend of quality and uniqueness.
Valentino is an Italian dress designer whose name is known around the world.
To me, the dream of my life is to create clothes for ladies.
Valentino's debut on the international stage was in Florence in 1962. Designer Valentino Garavani became known for his luxury high fashion and signature red dresses. The label's exquisite designs are admired for their deluxe quality and sophistication. Whilst unquestionably luxurious, Valentino's collections were always grounded in reality. The fashion house achieved a signature look that is instantly recognisable, modern, sophisticated. It's as though the tradition and innovation are balanced perfectly, making the label distinctively Italian in its style. The designs hold a very vast technical precision, with contemporary takes on past decades' drapery and silhouettes. Valentino is a brand that is willfully exclusive. The signature Valentino red is a shade sought after as a symbol of wealth by the fashion elite and beyond. Just like the old masters and surrealist painters, Italian fashion was greatly influenced by Italian auteur cinema, which flourished alongside Italian fashion's rise in the 1950s and 1960s. Cinema and fashion were twin art forms that often borrowed from one another. Film directors Federico Fellini and Michelangelo Antonioni created a broad cultural narrative that shaped the aesthetic of Italian fashion, with lavish costumes that brought heavily stylized clothing to the fore in Europe. Fellini's La Dolce Vita was a tour de force in showcasing Italian glamour, making it something to be envied the world over. The film explored the complexities of the search for love and happiness. The enduring appeal of the little black dress can be traced back to this time in history, entwined with cultural narratives of aestheticism and the pursuit of pleasure. Fashion at this time held a thin veneer of respectability in upper echelons of society, while beneath the facade sensuality and sexuality simmered, threatening to bubble up to the surface. The Italian look was redefined in the 1980s and 1990s. What was once revered for its adherence to classic minimalist aesthetics, albeit with sensual undertones, exploded into a striking, bold design that challenged convention. In this era, many of the well-known fashion houses of today flourished, setting the groundwork for the unbelievable wealth and fame that was to ensue. Versace, Salvatore Ferragamo, Gucci, Prada, Moschino exploded as giants into the fashion world. And these labels defined the look of an era. Dolce and Gabbana had its first runway show during this period in 1985. The label was headed by Domenico Dolce and Stefano Gabbana, who had a significant role in Italian ready-to-wear fashion.
At the first show, Dolce and Gabbana Woman, we produced a lot. We organized a show in one small studio, and we organized the show for the real woman. We don't have a model from paid model, and we asked all my friends, and this way started Dolce and Gabbana.
The brand's signature fluidity and lack of adherence to convention quickly forged a loyal following. The founders are seen as the progenitors of a distinctly Mediterranean style, inspired by the likes of screen siren Sophia Loren. The Dolce and Gabbana woman holds two identities within her. On one hand, that of a brazen and bold independence, and also a family and church-devoted spirituality. This duality is typical of Catholicism in southern Italy. In 1994, the brand released the D&G label, influenced by street style and with a focus on the youth market. The brand is famous worldwide for its garments as well as its fragrance collection. The 1980s and 1990s were a golden era for Italian fashion. Gianni Versace was another revolutionary force in Italian fashion that triumphed over these decades. Versace made a name for itself as an unapologetic and over-the-top brand with its signature colours of black and gold, worn in metal, mesh and leather. Founded in Milan in 1978, the brand remains one of the leading international fashion houses. In the 1980s and 1990s, the label was at the forefront of trailblazing fashion. Versace is widely known for its flashy, innovative designs that retain a measured, sleek appeal. At the label's most successful, it courted the favour of the world's biggest supermodels, including Naomi Campbell, Chrissy Turlington, Helena Christensen, and Cindy Crawford. But in 1997, tragedy would hit the fashion world.
Gianni Versace was murdered in broad daylight this morning.
Designer to the stars, Gianni Versace gunned down on the steps of his lavish South Beach home.
Gianni Versace, the rock and roll designer, was shot and killed near his Miami Beach mansion. Following Gianni Versace's assassination, the brand was taken over by his siblings, Donatella and Santo Versace. In the decades since, with its ups and downs, Versace has gone from strength to strength. It remains one of the most sought-after and recognisable brands in the world. Vogue's Anna Wintour told New York Times that Versace was the first to realise the value of celebrity in the front row and the value of the supermodel, and put fashion on an international media platform. Another brand whose name has eclipsed the clothing in terms of fame is Prada, one of the most iconic brands in history, and a common shorthand for luxury fashion. Prada has proven its staying power over its 106-year lifespan. Like Gucci, Prada began primarily as a leather goods store. The brand's elevation to the official supplier of the Italian royal house has imbued it with an unmatched prestige. Although Mario Prada's patriarchal beliefs forbid female family members from working in the company, his daughter Luisa Prada became his successor and ran the business successfully for almost 2 decades. Today, granddaughter of Mario, Lucia Prada has taken over the label globally. Known for its eccentric flair, the essence of the brand is an overturning of traditional aesthetic ideas. Prada is brash, it flouts the rules. Lucia Prada says, ugly is attractive, ugly is exciting, maybe because it is newer. The investigation of ugliness is, to me, more interesting than the bourgeois idea of beauty. The traditional Italian look is eclectic. An outfit is formed from a collection of quality, well-made pieces with a neutral base that forms a canvas for bold statement pieces. And this can still be seen in Italian street style. Emporio Armani was founded in 1975 by Giorgio Armani and is a perfect example of Italy's love of timeless style.
I think it's been 20 years that I've been wearing Armani, and for me, it has been effortless elegance.
Classic, timeless pieces are the bread and butter of Italian style, and Armani exemplifies the Italian look. High-quality leather belts, perfectly cinched trousers show the body's silhouette. Simple yet enduring pieces are revered worldwide for their well-made beauty. Even a simple pair of jeans must be of the highest quality and a perfect fit. Practical items like watches, sunglasses and handbags are afforded glamour and sophistication by the virtue of their brand pedigree and the value infused by the Armani name. Armani is one of the biggest names in high-end ready-to-wear fashion globally, and the secret to its success lies in its targeting of the middle class, a group characterised by their obsession with image, but lack of access to true couture collections. A common thread of clean, simple styles unchanged by the whims of fashion runs through the Armani brand. For this reason, Armani is a textbook example of Italian design. Italians seem to possess an immeasurable pride in their fashion. Over the last 2 decades, Italian fashion labels have reinvented themselves, combining the Italian love and reverence for tradition with glamorous collections that optimise modern haute couture. Italian fashion has shaped the fashion world and continues to do so to this day. Only time will tell how the Italian look will continue to revolutionize fashion the world over, but it's hard to imagine a culture that has had more of an impact on the world's style. Italian fashion has always held dualities within its style: conservatism and progressivism, tradition and innovation. As the whims of fashion ebb and flow into the future, fresh faces on the Italian scene are sure to shake up Italy's sartorial archives and set the world ablaze again with revolutionary movements. But it is also clear that the old guard of Italian fashion, many of the leaders now into their 70s and 80s, will soon be handing over the reins to new creative leaders, which will ensure their legacies and will be around for generations to come.